Some things just go naturally together.
Good boy, good boy.
The Dalmatian and firefighter.
When they see a Dalmatian, they automatically just perk up.
Still one and the same here at the Memphis Fire Department.
There's a bond that I'll never, ever understand that's so strong.
A strong relationship many credit Patricia Belt for.
Izzy is 8. Well, she will be 8 in February. Astro is 5.
And Belt has 2 more at home. She rescued all 4 Dalmatians and trained them to teach children fire safety, like stop, drop, and roll.
Drop and roll, roll.
The dogs get to show the kids how they do it, and then the kids repeat.
And also uses their unconditional love.
I got injured on the job in August of last year.
To help firefighters like Kyle Elliott.
The firefighter mentality is, we're tough, we don't like to talk about things.
The Dalmatians are certified therapy dogs.
We have nobody to talk to a lot of times, and like she said, guys will come in and talk away to the dogs, and it gets it off, gets that burden off their shoulders.
The pups travel to various fire stations after traumatic calls and work with those who were injured on the job. They also meet behind closed doors with paramedics and firefighters suffering from post-traumatic stress disorder.
Our firefighters and our paramedics, they see some things that people just really wish that they had never seen.
When Gina Sweat became the fire director in 2016, the Dalmatians caught her attention.
I realized that they even had a bigger purpose, that there's other things that they could do for the firefighters and for the city of Memphis.
She's now put together a team to see how they can expand the therapy dog program.
If we can have therapy dogs that come back, the next week or 2 later, just to go by and visit the firefighters and see how they're doing and provide them just a little bit more comfort.
But there's something that makes this relationship special.
Good boy.
Well, you may not notice right away. The dogs are all facing their own struggles.
30% of Dalmatians are born deaf in either one or both ears.
All 4 of Belt's Dalmatians are deaf.
Naturally, I just started communicating with hand signals and sign language.
Just because you're different or you have a disability or doesn't mean that you can't find your purpose in this world.
There's hope here. These Dalmatians and firefighters will continue to help one another. Jessica Gertler, WREG News Channel 3.
Hilton is used to providing a nice place for travelers, but today their employees were fixing up this permanent home for a group of residents once living on the streets. This is the first time Tony Buffy has picked up a rake.
We are getting ready to plant some new flowers, doing a little landscaping here.
Along with improving the curb appeal of Door of Hope, volunteers were busy inside, painting walls, cleaning bathrooms, and renovating the organization's office space and support center. Door of Hope provides housing and services to those chronically homeless due to mental or physical health issues.
This means a lot to Door of Hope. I mean, being that the population that we deal with, they're often the group that gets left out or forgotten about, and to have such a big corporation come in and want to give their time and energy and love to provide support for our clients means the world to us.
Door of Hope provides permanent housing to around 52 people in the community. 10 people stay at this house. They say the projects being done today, like the expansion of their backyard garden, would take them years to do on their own. Volunteers say they understand this is work many residents can't do themselves.
It's just very important as a community that we help these types of organizations who are helping some of our most downtrodden to make it a better place for them and for the Memphis community.
Door of Hope says it's their mission to make sure their clients will never be hungry or homeless, and now they have a place they'll be proud to call home. In Midtown, Melissa Moon, WREG News Channel 3.
About red. You want to try red?
The newest hotspot in Overton Square isn't a bar or restaurant. It's the city's newest kid zone, the Art Project. It provides paint, glitter, glue, markers, and more. All of the fun things needed to create art and all of the things parents hate to clean up.
And I love her doing it, but I didn't like it in my house.
So it made a huge mess.
If children can imagine it, they can create it at the Art Project. It's open 7 days a week with a range of hours.
We're hoping to cater both towards parents that are able to stay at home and working parents who may want to come a little bit later.
The little artists here today give the Art Project 2 thumbs up.
Some of those things you can't do at home, and so it's a lot of fun to have, you know, stuff you can't do and do projects like sandpaper art over there.
Do stuff that's fun and make new friends.
It's easy to see why this is a cool place for kids, but it's also a neat way for moms to connect.
We'll have Wi-Fi and coffee and snacks, and hopefully they can kind of sit down and relax while their kids are able to do art, or they could do it with them.
The children have the freedom to create what they like. They don't have to follow a program or pattern. It's about them exploring and creating art that speaks to them.
And it's been really fun to see what kids have created. I mean, we have, you know, a kid yesterday came in and just went for our recycled materials section and made a robot out of cardboard and toilet paper tubes and bottle caps.
Families can purchase a yearly pass or pay per visit. If you're looking for a way to get your children involved in art, the Art Project is a great place to get started. She's known as Pinky in the gym, but don't let the name fool you. Kiana Pinky Butler literally packs a punch.
I think she's the best female fighter right now in the United States.
This 8th grader started boxing about a year and a half ago. Today she's training and getting ready for a world competition at the end of this month in Kansas City.
I want to throw harder and faster as if I was a pro.
Kiana knows most 14-year-old girls aren't standing in line to get hit in the face, but that's one thing that makes her different. Her work ethic and what her coach calls natural ability also set her apart.
I want to do this for a long time, for a very long time.
Kiana won her first fight at Nationals in June. She admits her first time in the ring, she was nervous. But as soon as the bell rang, she says she was a different person.
Maybe I got this. And when I got in the ring, I was like, wow, under a minute? I couldn't believe I won under a minute.
Kiana won't be old enough to compete in the 2016 Olympics, so she has her sights set on 2020.
She's going to spend her high school career out at the U.S. Olympic Training Center.
Kiana spends 14 to 16 hours a day in the gym during the summer. She works on strength and endurance as well as her punches. Her coach says she's getting better every day.
She can step over, she can step around, she can lock with you. She rolls her punches very well. She can just do anything that you know, a professional boxer of 10 or 12 years late in his career, she can do those things at 14 years of age.
Kiana is poised to be the next big name in boxing. She knows a lot of eyes will be on her. She says she's ready to punch her way into the national spotlight.
Good. Bye. Bye.
It's been more than a decade since a big studio picture was shot in Memphis, but a TV series about one of the city's most famous landmarks and other television and film projects are bringing big money into the community.
Give me something I never heard.
When Sun Records begins airing this month on CMT, many are hoping it does for Memphis what the show Nashville has done for the Music City.
It's going to mean a whole lot for tourism. It's going to mean a whole lot for our music heritage. And it also has sparked interest in other projects.
Thanks to a $4 million grant from the state, crew spent 5 months in Memphis shooting the TV series about Sun Records founder Sam Phillips and the music legends he discovered.
Say your name is?
Elvis Presley.
They also pumped more than $6 million into the economy and hired 900 locals.
I'm playing Scotty Moore, who is Elvis Presley's guitar player.
Singer and musician Will Tucker landed a speaking role and can't wait for Memphis to be in the spotlight.
Memphis is a city with so much potential, so much history, and unlike many cities, we have all the history and it's all still here.
That's something others are realizing. 2016 was a record year for Memphis. TV and film crews spent over $8.5 million and provided 2,000 jobs. The Memphis and Shelby County Film Commission says if the state offered tax incentives, there's no question Hollywood would be sending more big budget projects this way.
If we had had really strong state film incentives, the way we were rolling in the 90s, we'd be Atlanta right now.
Films aren't just being shot in Memphis, they're being developed here.
Mississippi Grind, this one right here is my my favorite that we've done.
Ben Nern, an investment banker turned movie maker, started Sycamore Pictures in 2011.
I've really just kind of gotten burned out in investment banking.
Please let your lady friend know that this conversation was entirely about her.
Sycamore Pictures was behind the Sundance Film Festival favorite, The Way, Way Back.
You realize it's the end of the line.
And the John Carney written and directed movie, Begin Again.
Yeah, a lot of stuff originated, here in this office.
Aces are good, right?
Nern has a partner in Los Angeles, but chose to stay in Memphis. When he's not on a film set, he's screening the dailies from this room.
I've always loved film, and so it was never really, I never was audacious enough to dream to be in it.
You look tense.
Up next for Sycamore Pictures, the Felicity Jones-Anthony Hopkins thriller Collide, and the comedy Speech and Debate, which is already getting good buzz.
Choose another topic.
Also in the works, a movie about the Memphis sanitation strike Nern says will be shot here.
It would be a crime in my mind to shoot that not in Memphis, because it is so, at the basic level about Memphis.
One thing's for sure, his movies are making an impact in Hollywood. In Memphis, Melissa Moon, WREG, News Channel 3.
The Federal Railroad Administration says more people are being killed when walking across tracks like this than driving across them, and that's why they want to get the word out about railroad safety. It's a problem across the country and across the state of Tennessee.
We have very little sight distance for that lady coming south.
Walkers and drivers trying to beat the train, stopping on the tracks, or walking across them. Today, police and local agencies issued tickets to people caught walking across the railroad tracks near the University of Memphis and parts of Germantown. They say these areas are a concern when it comes to safety.
It's a dangerous place for me, and I've been here 20 years. It's definitely going to be dangerous for someone that's just walking across and doesn't know where trains might be, let alone where they are.
Billy Crabtree is with Norfolk Southern Railway. We asked him if he thinks a lot of people know it's illegal to walk on railroad tracks or use them as a shortcut.
I doubt it seriously. I did hear a public service announcement this morning warning people about the hazards of dealing with trains, and I was really encouraged to hear that. It's the first one I've heard in years.
Last year, 3 people were killed in trespassing incidents in Shelby County. George Holmes died while jogging on the train tracks. Investigators say he was listening to music on his earphones, and that may be why he didn't hear the horn.
It's not a safe place to be.
Crabtree hopes more people will take these deaths seriously. Siobhan Riley, WREG, News Channel 3.
Joe Cavallo considers himself a responsible gun owner, but a trend he is seeing disturbs him.
I realized that there were numerous places I could not take my gun into. I was very uncomfortable leaving my gun, what I say is unsecured, in my vehicle, even though the vehicle is locked.
The number of guns being stolen from cars and trucks in Memphis got him thinking and looking for a box to secure his gun while it is stored in his vehicle.
This particular one happened to be a cable that wraps around the car seat slide, and I was able to secure my gun knowing that I feel safe while I'm not in the vehicle.
This is what Cavallo says can stop criminals. It looks like a toolbox, but what it does is protects a tool criminals want, your gun.
Your gun or valuables are placed inside the box, locked up, and then when they're unattended, the box cannot be removed from the vehicle.
The idea, a thief breaking into your car is going to move fast. Get in, get what they want, and get out. Fumbling with a locked box is going to slow them down.
You can't get this. You're not going to get that out.
Cavallo believes in the product so much, he has even started selling it.
I initially just went to a gun show with a half a dozen of them. I sold out in 3 hours.
He says it's because people realize the alternative.
If somebody were to break into my truck and steal my gun, now I'm responsible for a bad guy having
a gun out there on the streets.
If we could prevent the guns from being stolen and being placed into the wrong hands, then definitely something worth pursuing.
So Cavallo is on a mission to get state lawmakers to make the box a requirement for guns that are kept in vehicles.
Right now, the law requires basically the car door to be locked and put it in a glove compartment or your console or a trunk. It has nothing to do with additional locking or that second point locking mechanism.
Cavallo hopes requiring some type of box gets traction during the next legislative session. District Attorney Amy Wyrick has been pushing for stronger gun safety laws, especially in light of recent crime numbers that have steadily increased, from 473 guns stolen from cars in Memphis in 2014 to 851 last year.
Common sense would tell you if our numbers of stolen guns from cars has almost doubled in the last 2 years, plus we've seen an increase in violent crime over the last 2 years, there's got to be a correlation.
She says having guns in a locked box can be a deterrent for criminals.
Anything and everything that we can do to stop that process, to keep that gun from somebody's hand, and to keep the next citizen of Shelby County from being a victim of a violent crime.
At a cost of around $50, Joe Cavallo says it's a small investment to help fight a big problem, gun crimes that affect all of us.
We got to stop that, and I think that this won't stop it completely, but it'll sure slow it down.
April Thompson, WREG News Channel 3.
A few months ago, Dennis Lunsford downsized big time from a 2,800 square foot home to this 200 square foot space.
Everything's in storage. I couldn't put a whole lot in here, but all I need is a TV and my pictures.
The single retired electrician paid $45,000 for his tri-level tiny house on wheels and hasn't looked back.
It's easy to clean, easy to take care of, and just everything easy about it because it's tiny.
Lunsford bought his home from Tennessee Tiny Homes in the Eads area.
I built over 100, I stopped counting.
Owner Joe Everson says his houses range in size from 90 square feet like this one under construction to over 300.
Family of 4 lives in one this size in North Carolina, and they were one of my first 5 to 10 tiny house sales.
Everson has gotten so good at building the compact spaces, he now customizes them. This tiny house, complete with a washer and dryer, large shower, iron stair rail, and pink siding, is going to a woman on the East Coast.
Adapting with the changes and trying to keep, we let our customers basically design exactly what they want, and then we make it, bring it to life.
When Everson got into the tiny house business 5 years ago, he was one of about 3 tiny house builders. Now he's one of about 300.
These things come down, pop down, and there's more storage space in there.
He admits the competition has made his business more challenging and says so far the tiny house movement has not taken off in the Mid-South.
A lot of people think this is a trend. I don't quite agree with that because I see the benefits.
Everson says a lot of people like the idea of a tiny home, but they aren't exactly sure where to put them. That's why he's purchased 28 acres outside of Arlington to create a tiny community.
I plan on building from anywhere from 25 to 50 houses over the 28 acres with different size lots, depending on what the person wants. But yeah, and build small houses. Maybe not quite as small as our trailer tiny houses.
He's hoping more people locally try out tiny living. Lunsford says while this minimalist lifestyle may not be for everyone, he's sold.
Couldn't ask for nothing better. I'll probably be here for the rest of my life.
Near Eads, Melissa Moon, WREG News Channel 3.
Like a taper fade, we're gonna leave it a little thick on the top though. We're gonna tape them on the sides and the back.
We are having free haircuts for the community. Brown, we are a church that we're committed to helping our community and focusing on the whole person, even if it's something as simple as a free haircut.
We find a way to give back, and this is one of the best ways at the beginning of the school year where we can give back to the community.
It's awesome that they dedicate their time, their use of their equipment and everything, because that costs them. So I think that's awesome that they stepped up and did this.
So it's always good to give back. I think it's a blessing just to be able to give back.
I appreciate Brown's Baptist Church for the kids, so they can get their hair cut. That was nice.
Look
Look down at the Coldwater Bridge along Highway 51 and you can see straight through the asphalt to the rushing current below. 1 week after the storm, the bridge is still not safe.
The gap is so wide I can stick my entire arm down here and still have room to move.
Thursday, the Mississippi Department of Transportation asked the federal government to step in with funds and help fix the bridge. A Help Market 51 owner Uday Kerry Wallace says the area needs badly. He says since last week, his business is only making less than half what it used to because the highway shut down.
I don't know how I can recover the money I'm losing.
So Kerry Walla is already talking about cutting back on his workers' hours. But the financial burden for these families isn't the only hiccup in the area.
It's inconvenient for everybody.
Bubba Hudson and Gordon Todd are avid fishermen and say the drive to some of the good spots along the river should only take 5 minutes. They say with the buckled bridge, their drive is now closer to 30.
You can go to Hernan and get the interstate and go, come to Coldwater.
It may be that way for a while.
We talked to that ranger yesterday, and he said it'll be July before they even get the water down where they can work on it.
MDOT says it doesn't have a definitive timeline to reopen the bridge, but your safety is top priority, and the state hopes relief funds will come soon. In Tate County, Elise Preston, WREG News Channel 3.